name's Oscar Boykin. I work at Stripe. I'm a machine learning infrastructure engineer. This is not my first time speaking at Scale by the Bay. You can tell by just my slip. I've been doing it for a few years. It used to go under a different name. I first spoke a few years ago when I was working at Twitter. Twitter has a close relationship because of Scala interests, and a lot of that is a big overlap with the community that's still here. My favorite part of the talk is just kind of like, I think we're seeing early days of how machine learning is going to be, run, how's it going to be scored, how are people going to use this and build it into their production systems. So I think people who come to my talk will be able to learn a little bit about a new format called ONNX, which is intermediate representation for different machine learning models. We're not really there yet of a world of Java class files or whatever for machine learning, but ONNX is kind of trying to take us a little bit in that direction. So it'll be interesting to see in the next couple of years if ONNX is going to be a standard that really catches on, but in any case, people can learn about what it's all about. Yeah, so the fact of the matter is, even though a lot of people here at Stripe a lot of people here at Scale by the Bay like Scala, for machine learning, Python is where everyone's using Python for the most part to train their machine learning models. But on the server side at Stripe, we don't really have any Python services. So we were really struggling with this question of how can we get deep learning models out there, how can we get more models for more applications and continue to use our existing Scala infrastructure. So my work will talk about a library that we wrote that allowed us to take these models that were trained in Python, but score them and run them on our existing Java virtual machine based written in Scala systems. Yeah, well, Brian Cantrell's talk was really amazing on just Moore's law, Wright's law. Amazing talk. Everyone worth the price of admission to Scale by the Bay alone. So I highly recommend everyone take a look at that one. But there's so many really good talks. It's hard to pick. Yeah, I could try to pick a few. It's a great conference. Always great. Well, I don't know if it's going to be over the next year. I'm been interested in functional programming for a long time, but we're getting closer to the next release of Scala 3 coming out. And it has a lot of really exciting features, improves the language in a lot of ways, simplifies it in many ways, but also adds some nice power, adds some opportunities for writing very fast code, some optimization. So I'm pretty excited about that being something that more people can try to play with, and hopefully that we can, eventually start including in our work. My favorite part, I think it's kind of awkward to because Scale by the Bay used to be Scala by the Bay, and still I would imagine more than 2/3 of the attendees have some interest in Scala or domains where Scala has been, successful, data, machine learning, things like this. So there is this ambition for it to be, about scalability, but I think it's also still very much related to Scala. So I like coming and seeing, I think it's really the best Scala conference on the West Coast. I really like coming to see a lot of the people. Twitter is in San Francisco, and so they use a lot of Scala. I used to work at Twitter. I get to see a lot of my friends who are Twitter engineers. A lot of them come. So it's a great chance to connect with the community. Great venues usually, and almost always a great event.